the Snobs podcast.
It's empty, Gail.
Listen, I took Paul out just to tell you guys that I will never miss an opportunity to show that. When he hits that table, it's the most epic thing you'll ever see. Why? Because he broke himself. That man had to go through 10 surgeries after doing that for charity. And every single day we are proud of him. And I just didn't want that to be corrected because I think Paul believes it's 9, but I know it's 10. And Dan the Man is here tonight. He's a little beaten up, a little bruised. Just keep that in mind. It is very important that we are gentle with him. His psyche has taken a hit after such the accident. And I wanted to put that forth on the podcast now. When you see him come on later and we're doing the mixtape portion of the show, he's going to be lively. He's going to be fun, but you're not going to understand him very much. It turns out that when Dan took that fall, he had a dick in his mouth. He choked for a while, but they did save him. They revived him from this, and now he is back, and that dick has been saved. It has been proven to be Vladimir Putin's. So, Dan, thank you so much for taking out Vladimir Putin's dick. I do this for effect. So anybody who's listening for a different time or anything else, I can watch Dan's face as I say these things, and you can't. And that's the power I hold. It's the only power I hold. Now let's bring on producer Paul.
We all know it's a lie because you said he choked.
He did choke. He didn't choke at the fall. Listen, that fall still to this day. I don't know how that man got on top of that. I fell over, stable on the ground, watching him climb up to that top rung. And then just stand there the entire time in wet sneakers until it finally decided to tip over. Not in his scales. But welcome everybody to the Snobs podcast. How you doing?
Good. I'm tan. You see my tan lines? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean it's getting a little ridiculous, dude. I don't know, man. You're getting dark. Dark.
It's rough. I'm red in the cheeks and everything. I look like I'm hungover, but this is just sun.
And it's getting extreme this week, so everybody please be safe out there. It's going to get
hydrate.
Yes. Yeah. If you're outside, hydrate. If you're inside, don't lock yourself in a room with no air conditioning. It could get really bad. You know.
Don't tell people that work outside how, I know it's been hot this week. You don't know. So shh. It's okay. You work inside. I respect it, but don't sit there and be like, it was a hot one today. Was it?
I don't want to hear a word. Yes, I work inside. Do you know I was a mailman for years? I never want, like, every time I talk to somebody who worked outside and like they're just like, we work inside. It's like, I'm 43. At what point do you think I never worked outside? Like, I've done it all.
Fair.
I cleaned floors in high school. I cleaned warehouse floors in the morning, then went to practice. And I'm not saying this for you, but I do catch this a lot where it's like, I don't understand. It's like, I have worked outside. That's been a thing. And I say, anybody who hasn't worked at the post office, you don't know what it's like to work outside. Get chased by some dogs. Go ahead. Hop a fence. Those dogs will hop that fence. And they will get you. I've had my ass bitten a few times.
I do the door slam. I do the whistle trick if I ever had to deliver. But nah, I couldn't do the post office. I'd be like Stanley Stupid, just throwing it in a drain and stuff. Oh, here's number 182. Just whoop. Right there in the drain.
I wish I could have sometimes. Stanley Stupid. Don't try and change the subject to that movie. Who wants to listen to that movie? Don't see. This is what Paul does. I get on my tangents, and then he like throws out a movie I hate.
I just rewatched it recently. We were watching the newest Final Destination. We went to eat food, and I was like, all right, let's put on something else while we eat. You know, that's kind of more lighthearted. Put on Stupids. They got so involved with it. We watched the whole Stupids. And
I get that.
It is one of those how much I loved it.
You can mindlessly turn off that movie, and that's why, like, I get why, as a cult following, that might be a movie that people are really into. But here's the thing: you introduced it to me on a show where we predominantly watch bad movies, and you made me watch that. Like, you should have been like, "Hey, man, I have an idea for anything else, any other show we do, not on the one where it's like we roast movies." And I'm already going in like, all right, it's got Tom Arnold in it. The only other Tom Arnold movie I can think of besides True Lies is like Final Friday. I don't even know how much. Like, I know he's been in a lot, but
Carpool. Interesting.
Carpool.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh my God! Didn't that come out? In the, are you really passing off Carpool? Like, the Stupids at least has a hook.
So you think Carpool is worse than Stupid? This is interesting. We're gonna have to make it about Tom Arnold movies.
Here's the deal: I haven't thought about Carpool in 25 years. I didn't think about the Stupids at all until you said, "Hey, watch this." I would, knowing both movies and having seen both, I would probably lean towards the Stupids because it's meant to be absurd. They don't do a good job with it. They do an okay job with it. There's some scenes in there that make me laugh, but that rollerblading scene is always going to make me laugh. 8 are better than 4. Like, oh.
Yes. The coworkers that were at the house, they repeat that at work all the time now. They'll point at cars, every car that comes through, and they'll be like, hey, look, there's 4 wheels. Let's get 8 wheels. And I'm like, Can
I just say that is a dumb joke? That's a dumb dad joke. Like, that is 100% of that. Like, when I say I think it's funny, it's because it is. But I understand why it's not funny too. So, like, I get, like, young people will hate that. People my age, it's like, yeah, I get it. I'm with you. But I have an update on my rooster story for you. Ooh. Yeah. So the other day I'm driving past, right? And of course that big luscious rooster is right outside. I'm staring at it. It looks like a picture. This thing is so beautiful. It looks like a picture. But the owner was out this time. So I finally got to go to the owner and I rolled down the window. I said, hey, listen, every time I pass by, I see your beautiful rooster. And it's like a picturesque beauty right there. And you get to see him outside. So I just want to say, thank you. I love your big cock. And she was appalled. I don't think she knew that it was called a cock. Can you believe that?
I can. I absolutely can.
Did you not know that it was a cock? Cock-a-doodle-doo, man. Come on.
Right.
Next time I see her, I'm going to be like, hey, how's the big dick going?
Yep. I like it.
Just really turn it on its head. But
next time, just got to be like, let me see your cock. She'll be very confused then.
Can I chase your cock around the yard? Can we do this? It would be it's a beautiful cock to chase around. That's for sure. Very veiny, very big, stands tall. That's very nice. And Dan would love it. He would handle that cock so well.
Mm-hmm. He could probably swallow it whole.
Fried up. I don't know if he could do it live. The thing is massive.
I bet he'd do it for charity. He said he'd do anything for charity.
July 4th is a charity event. Hey, Dan. Just a quick question. How far would you go for charity? Like, what could we do? We'll answer that question later. Because we got a whole episode ready to go and we're bringing the absurdity tonight. But before we do, we have to take our jobs a little bit seriously and get some reviews done and our top 5. So we're going to rush right on through them and then we're going to bring our guests on and we're going to have a great time and we're going to talk about some Mixtape and it's all about the summer crushes. So stay tuned. But let's get it started. Our first review tonight is Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Ballerina. It stars Ana de Armas as another hitman in the John Wick world, and a lot of familiar faces along for the ride. So this is a movie where she, of course, it's parodies everything we saw in like Red Sparrow, the Black Widow storyline, things like that, where she's a young girl. Her father was tied to the inside world of like John Wick and like the hitmen and all the crime and stuff that sort of goes on. She gets taken. Gabriel Byrne plays the bad guy in this. She gets taken, or he kills the father, and instead of her getting taken, she gets saved and brought to the Ballerinas. Angelica Houston's running this show, and she trains these young girls to become top level assassins, and she trains her to do that as well. She has a heart of gold. Like, I wish I could go into more of this. There's not a lot of story when it comes to the John Wick movies, and Ballerina does not have, at least you have John Wick's story in the other ones. And this one is just sort of a setup. she sees another girl who kind of gets kidnapped by Gabriel Byrne, Byrne's character. So she goes on this mission of sort of revenge to get her back and stop it. John Wick does get called in, so he has a cameo in this, sort of a bigger cameo than normal, where he has to fight her and take her out. That's his job. But for reasons you'll see in the movie, he doesn't, and you'll figure that out, I'm sure, for a sequel. But overall, this movie was high octane, a lot of action. It was fun at times. I like Ana de Armas. I have a hard time sort of understanding all the time, like with her accent. It can be very thick. And in movies like this, where you have a lot of bullets and a lot of like fighting and stuff like that, and so a lot of action sounds, it made it hard to kind of understand, you know, her dialogue and stuff as we were going through. So there were some issues with this movie for me that kind of dragged it back. I didn't think it was a bad movie by any means. I might check it out again. I do like high actiony stunt extravaganza type films, and that's one of them. But it pales in comparison to even the worst John Wick film, which was the last one in my opinion. And I like that one, but they have deteriorated over time. And this one was actually not even as good as that one. So I walked away from this. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 mics. Again, I like the actors in it. I don't care so much about the John Wick world. I don't need it to be extended. I can keep it within the John Wick realm. I don't even know why, and spoiler for the last John Wick film, John Wick 4, he did die in it. He is coming back though. So don't worry. He'll be back. He always comes back, probably as Frankenstein. It bothers me that they do that over time and then kill it off, and then he's back in here because it's a different time, you know, within the franchise. Like Rocky, just keep him going. I don't understand why you have to get rid of all your main characters, but whatever. So I walked away from this one. I had fun with it. I didn't really need to see it in theaters. I could have waited till it came out on streaming or something like that. But it does look good. It's pretty, and it has a lot of action. So that's what my takeaway is from it. Paul, what'd you think about this?
So, I mean, I love the John Wick movies exactly for what they are, because we all know we're in for a John Wick movie. This was just kind of a good fill-in, you know. The worst comparison I made for a friend that asked about this, I was like, it's like if you're used to smoking cigarettes and you switch to vape, this is the vape to the cigarette that John Wick is. It's just enough to get you by, and you're like, okay, it's good enough, but it's definitely not John Wick. I wish they had just made it its own thing and not had any cameo at all. But I did like it. My rating is exactly right there with you. I don't think it's one you had to rush and see in theater. If it was still in theater, I wouldn't be like, oh, you absolutely do. I think it's one you can absolutely stream at home and still enjoy. Or if you happen to have, outdoor projector, indoor projector, I think this is one that would be fun to watch, but I didn't think it was needed. I don't think any of us honestly asked for it. I'd rather just wait for the next John Wick installation as opposed to, like you said, adding into a universe that, I mean, there's so many other characters I'd rather see a lot more of that have already been introduced with John Wick. Why'd we just pull Ballerina out of nowhere? And it almost kind of stunk because I really like her as an actress. I think she did a pretty good job. Like I said, that, like as you said, that accent was just a little too much.
Yeah.
But all in all, yeah, I'd say it's worth a watch. But I don't think I'll probably end up rewatching this unless someone hasn't seen this and has seen all the John Wicks. And it's like, oh, you have this. Can we throw it on?
Yeah, and it's funny too because like you take a movie like Glass Onion, Knives Out, which Ana de Armas was in, and kind of comparing it because she was also in the last one of the last James Bond films and stuff like that. Like, she is very good at action. I like her more in maybe even comedic roles or in drama roles and stuff like that. It's not that her accent throws me off; it's the high intensity action that is so loud that when your accent is, that's why I think the James Bond movie she was in work. She was only in like a couple of scenes. It was very high actiony, not a lot of dialogue and stuff. But then here you bring it here, you have to put out all that exposition. She's really got to sell a lot of things to connect with her. And it just was too much action within that. I feel like we bought Keanu Reeves right out of the gate. It was a simple enough premise. It was dog got killed. He goes on a tear. And that's all we needed to believe about this. So it got bigger over time. And we were willing to accept that because we've now entered into this with, okay, his dog got killed. He's going to kill everyone. So like, we're in it. We know what we want. This one, it feels like, okay, we have her whole backstory. We didn't really need John Wick's backstory. It was just like, it was done, actually, in my opinion, the John Wick backstory reveal is probably one of the most epic backstory reveals of all time. I would put it up there in a way of like just the way the music was, how the acting was, like delivering the lines and who he was, and like the mix of action of him like kind of waking it back up. To me, that was something that like really spoke to me. I would put that up there with the reveal of like I'm your father, you know, and I realize that's a huge one. But as far as movies go, that was a really well done one. And we didn't need much. But in this movie, they tried to shoehorn everything in to make her seem more like caring and dramatic. And it was like, I don't know. I don't know about all this, but that's my review. 2.5. What is yours? What 2.5 out of 5?
It's 2.5. 2.5 as well.
Yeah. So middle of the road, go check it out. Let us know what you think, but maybe wait till it's out of theaters. I'm excited for this next one for sure. How to Train Your Dragon, the live action version. And when Paul gets me pictures, he'll be up there too. But I need more pictures of him. I like that one. So How to Train Your Dragon from DreamWorks. They've finally done a live action version of this. They've been talking about it for a while, filmed it last year. I love the original. All 3 movies I thought were fantastic. So going into this one, I didn't know if it was needed, but I will tell you, they're doing something Disney is not. They're knocking it out of the park. The live action version of How to Train Your Dragon, in my opinion, is better. And that's saying something, because I'm saying that about a movie, animation and all. Like, I'm saying that about a movie that is truly fantastic and amazing. And I love it so much. But this was one that just blew me away. The whole thing. The kid who stars in it, his name is escaping me right now, but he was in Incoming last year, which I really liked, which was like a high school coming of age movie. He was in Monster Summer, which was a really good one. I think people would really enjoy. Like, he's been in a lot of movies. Here's the thing. He's very quirky in this movie. He works as Hiccup, but I've seen pictures of him now that he's done filming and he's like promoting the movie. And I'm like, the kid looks like Glenn Powell. So they got him at just the right time to play Hiccup. Because if they continue on with these movies, he's going to be able to step into the chief role really well, I think. I gave this a 4 out of 5 mics. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. I thought this was fantastic. This is a great adaptation of the, because there are some changes in it, but having all of these actors come back, Gerard Butler as his father, Hiccup's father in the movie, coming back and taking over the role works. Nick Frost was great in the movie. Everyone. And now there's been a lot of controversy with the Nico Parker, who plays the young Viking girl in the movie, who was very blonde hair, blue eyed. Now that she's a young lady of color, it's become sort of a moment of controversy out there. And I got to tell you, I liked her character. I like her anyway, because I liked her on The Last of Us, and she's been in a couple of movies that are really good. But she played the part bravely. She played the part really well. If I can believe there's hundreds of thousands of dragons out there, I can believe that a black girl became a Viking. I don't care. So I just wanted to point that out there for anybody who's going to eventually comment on this. But this movie was fantastic. I think it's better than the original. Again, that's hard to say, but those little changes that they made, I think really made it. And the scope. I didn't even see it on IMAX, and the scope was just wonderful. Everybody looked great. Toothless looked great. All the dragons, everything around, the costuming, the makeup, the whole 9 yards. 4 out of 5 mics. I love this movie. Paul, tell me what you think, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never wanted a dragon more than Dragonheart until I saw this. I'm not gonna lie. Absolutely was like, I need a dragon. Dragons need to come back. Where are the dragons hiding? Give them to me. I really love the original, but this one, surprisingly, I'm kind of there with you. I liked it more than the original, just from those subtle changes. Thank God they brought Gerald Butler back, because I loved him just as a voice actor on the original, and then for this,
he worked.
It was great. I love him. I love his accent, and like you said, those wide scenes, you just got caught up when they were flying around. Like I caught myself just smiling in a lot of those scenes where they weren't talking, they weren't even doing anything. Where I was like, wow, this looks so believable, and it's so much fun. And I think they did it right, because as an adult, I liked it. I can only imagine how kids, their imagination takes off, and how much, they're going to enjoy this and appreciate it. Like you said, Disney, take notes, because this is what you should do with a live action if you're going to make an animated one live. I look forward to more. I hope they do more like this. The whole Viking thing and the woman of color. You guys get over it. Get over it. It's amazing. Who cares? Get over it. She was amazing. The character was fun. They were so much fun. And like you said, it was fun seeing him because he has kind of I don't know how to say, like a childish excitement about him. Mm-hmm. So it was fun just seeing him interact with Toothless and how, their dialogue, even though Toothless doesn't talk, going back and forth and just, it was just a lot of fun. It was a joy. This is one I probably will end up seeing again in theater this weekend, honestly.
And yeah, that's a good point. I might actually see this too. Jack saw it and he loved it too. He was like, this is one of my favorite movies. I was like, I get it. Cause like, this is the type of movie that it just hits on so many different levels, the father and son themes, the themes of protecting your friends, stuff like that. But they did not remove the disability theme, which I thought was important, and how they connected with those disabilities and stuff like that. So like this was just a really well done movie. And it seems like everybody that was involved in making it, like one thing I can say is when I watch a certain movie, like it can be great, but you could tell there was turmoil behind the scenes because there was just something there. Like there was some sort of vibe or feeling or whatever. And you can always sort of call it out, especially if you've been on set, that. But you can always look at a movie where everyone just enjoyed their experience and realize like, that's why it's like the sunscreen. That's why I'm having so much fun, is because the people who went into this really enjoyed the experience. And this is one of those movies that made me feel that, and you don't get that a lot with these live action adaptations. Nope. So, what's your, mine's 4 out of 5. What's yours?
3.5.
Solid. I like it. All right. So our final review for tonight, before we get into our top 5, it's 28 years later. So this is the new one from Danny Boyle, written by Danny Boyle and Alex Garland. Alex Garland, I guess this is going to be a planned trilogy that connects with the original two, but this trilogy is going to tell a different story from this perspective in this time frame. This stars Aaron Taylor Johnson. I believe the kid's name is Alfie Williams, who plays Spike, the main character in the movie. Robert Fiennes in it. Jack Connolly is in it, who was just in Sinners, did a turn in Sinners, and he was great. This movie, and Jodie Comer, who I like in almost everything except the Bike Riders. So it was so good to see her again in this. She did such a good job in this. I really enjoyed her. I like when she pops up. It was just that accent in the Bike Riders kept killing me. But I walked out of this. Like, I love the first 28 days later. 28 weeks later, I like it a lot. I think it's more fun, whereas the first one is more... It's very auteurish, in my opinion. It's very like it's a movie that, in my opinion, especially for the time and how it was made and what it was made on, it sort of like propels it up a little bit in terms of what this movie was. And especially Alex Garland writing it was fantastic. 28 Weeks Later is a fun movie. I think it's a great follow-up. I think it's the reason there hasn't been another one in this long. But now we're at 28 years later with this amazing cast and the story that actually takes place 28 years after it ended, after everything popped off. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to give any spoilers away. I don't want to do this as a spoiler review. I want everybody to go and chance to check it out. I will touch down on some things that are maybe a little spoilerish, but I will let you know beforehand. And Paul, please do the same with yours. But guys, this is one that if you really like the original films, go check it out in theaters. If you just really enjoy a good drama, or you enjoyed anything Alex Garland's done, like Warfare had just come out, and then you had Civil War last year, things like that, I think you'll like this one. Danny Boyle, the same, does really good work. So this tells the story of a family that lives on this secluded isle that has a causeway that gets flooded once the high tide comes in. So they're sort of protected away from the world, from where the entire quarantine area is the UK. They have contained everything to the UK, and now if you end up in the UK, you stay there forever. You never leave. You are now part of the quarantine land, and we find that out in this movie. But outside world is just humming and jiving and going along and doing their thing, right? So this was one that just, as it was going on, built tension really well. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who you think is the main character in this, but he's gone like maybe 35 minutes into the movie. Don't take his fate on that. Again, there's no spoilers here. But it's really, the reason he's gone is because it's focused on Spike's character, the main character, his son, played by Alfie Williams. And there's a reason it's focused on him. And I thought they did a great job. I thought they did a great job world building these, like, sort of, to call them zombies for just kind of keep up that term. Like they sort of evolved into things. They're evolving into a more of an awareness. There are leaders to the pack and why they are leaders. Like they've mutated into certain things. There's others that are just like, look like giant babies kind of rolling around, you know, and they're like, all they can do is crawl and stuff. Like it's kind of creepy. They do a good job with this. And like, again, world building and what this means. The Jimmy character is an interesting one. I don't want to give anything away, but this is played by Jack Connolly's character. He's introduced in a very wicked, and I think it rivals the openings of every other movie. I thought this was a really good one, this opening. It was very tense. And then you don't see his character again to the end. Because, again, it's a proposed trilogy. And you know, there's this whole Jimmy thing where they kind of follow that DJ who was... And the reason I say this, there's a DJ in the UK who's very popular. His name is Jimmy too. I can't remember what his last name was. Blonde hair, tracksuits and stuff. He always did charities, but then you found out he was like one of the most prolific SA abusers of all time in the UK, especially of kids and women. Well, when this movie would have ended, nobody would have known about that with him, because like where this movie picks up, because when everything popped off, nobody knew that about him yet. That documentary and stuff hadn't come out yet. And there's an element to this where he's almost revered. And like it, and I think it's to set up something that's going to be really interesting in the next one. This is a theory. That's all I'm throwing out there. I think because they use that, they're giving a false sense of like safety. So when we go into this next one, I think things are going to really pop off crazily. I'm not a huge fan of this, is why it's 3.5 and not a 4 in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of movies that are setting up other movies, and that's exactly what this is doing. That's why I like the other two. They're not setting anything up. It's just kind of continuing. This does continue, but it is trying to push things off. And honestly, sometimes it feels like it's like you're not showing us something to save it for your next movie, and I don't appreciate that. Let it all out here and then tell your next movie. But we shall see how it goes. 3.5 out of 5 mics for me. I love this movie. Paul, what did you think?
So we kind of differ a little bit. I thought I was watching an Ari Aster movie for a majority of it, and that's not what I wanted out of this trilogy, if you will. There were some cool camera shots, there were cool angles, but I feel like this was a drama with zombies in the background. I didn't think they did enough compared to 28 Days Later, 28 Years Later. I don't like a lot of change when the formula was working great for the first two, especially 28 Days Later. Mm-hmm. And I thought they added too many, without spoilers, added too many elements that there wasn't enough explanation for. And so, I don't want to say nonsensical, but just things where I was like, where are we going with it? I get you're telling a message, and I understand how Alex Garland is, and I'm not saying he's not a great writer because he's phenomenal. I will, hands down, you are phenomenal. It just didn't click with me with this one.
I get that.
So I've told people, I'm like, do you like Ari Aster? Yeah, okay. I'm like, cool. I was like, did you see Clockwork Orange? Yeah. I was like, all right, well, the last 3 minutes are kind of like a scene out of Clockwork Orange with some zombies, so you'll have fun. Yeah. But honestly, it just there were a lot of plot holes for me. And it's hard to say without spoilers, so forgive me, you guys. But this was when I rated it, I said it was a 2.5 for me. I
get that.
I won't say it's the worst, but I don't. 28 Days Later was like one of the first zombie movies my dad and I watched together. We saw 28 Weeks together, so it's deep rooted that I love. It's my favorite zombie most believable one, and I just felt kind of let down after all this time with this. It's just not what I wanted as far as these went. You know, I wanted more of the others. Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. I think it's because of why I took points off. I think it's because of setting it up. Everything you just said hits the nail on the head. It's like it didn't feel like its own movie.
Yeah.
And I will, and again, I'm trying not to, like, I'd set up the Jimmy thing, but like that was a little ridiculous. But I do think that it was ridiculous.
What? I was like, what just happened?
I mean, not to spoil it, there's sort of ninjas in the movie, just so everybody knows. That's all.
In tracksuits,
like so. It's but you know, when I watch stuff like this, I look at it and I'm like, I got to remember, A, it's the UK, B, things cut off at like 2003. The tracksuits are very UK thing, you know, very hooligan thing, and especially the Jimmy thing, like playing up that DJ. Again, I can't remember his name. They did a Netflix doc on him and stuff, but like, I think it was supposed to be they're revering him because like they all look around the same age.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if, like, however it sort of played out, however this group came together, which we're going to find out, and Jack Connolly's at the center of it, is going to be a major turning point for the future. That is in itself, the fact that we have to do it that way is what bothers me, though. Yeah. So I agree with you on that. I get a 2.5. I do. If you're a major fan, I'm not a huge fan of this franchise.
Gotcha.
So, like, if you're that close to it, I could see why it would be as much of a letdown for you. But that's our review of 28. So that's all our reviews, 28 years later. And we're going to get to our top 5. And we figured since we did 28 years later, let's talk about our top 5 countdowns for zombie movies. So we're going to kick this off. And we're going to do it pretty quick because we got some guests waiting. But I wanted to do something a little special. What do you got for number 5, sir?
Number 5 is going to be starting with The Crazies. The remake of The Crazies. So the 2010.
If I'm going with any of them, I like that. That's a good one. My number 5 is probably going to be, am I in number 5? Yeah. So it's probably going to be Dawn of the Dead, the original. Great movie. I think it definitely deserves a top 5 personally, but it's just one of those ones that, like, for me, I just thought it was so well done personally. So what's your number 4, sir?
Number 4 is going to be World War Z.
Okay. Solid choice. I like the book better. And if you ever get a chance, listen to the audiobook. Mark Hamill does.
Okay. Ooh, and Mark Hamill.
There's a whole bunch of people. Yeah. I think you'll like it. My number 4 ended up being One Cut of the Dead.
Nice.
I love that movie. I think it's like a really sweet movie between father and daughter. All right. What's your number 3, sir?
Number 3 is going to be Diary of the Dead.
I like that one. That's a simple one. He came back simple with it and like brought it back and like kind of took it to the beginning a little bit again. I dig it. I
think it's slept on. I feel like a lot of people just anyway. I think it's slept on.
I agree with you. I think it's very good. All right, my number 3 is 28 Days Later. Actually, okay. I love the movie. I know they're not traditional zombies, but for seeing something like Dawn of the Dead remake, where it like brought in the fast zombies, did a really good job, and people sort of didn't like that zombies were fast. I thought this was with the rage virus sort of worked, so I'm going to count them. All right, what's your number 2?
It's going to sound surprising. It's going to be Shaun of the Dead. I know a lot of people are going to be like, that's not number 1, Paul. I'll be like, honestly not. And it's your fault, Mick, and you'll see why with my number 1. But Shaun of the Dead was a runner-up for number 2.
My number 2 is Shaun of the Dead as well. It's a great movie.
Yes.
I love that movie. And I think we might have a similar number 1. So let's just get to it. What do you got?
Train to Busan.
Nope, definitely not. We do not have the same.
Oh, interesting.
I
thought it'd be that. You introduced me to that. Jesus Christ, Mick. I wasn't ready for that. That was probably one of my favorite recommendations from you.
I think it's a zombie movie everyone should watch.
Jesus, man. It has everything.
Great movie.
Oh my god.
But like the movies I put up over this made me feel something and still do. Like One Cut of the Dead, because it is the father-daughter and the way they tell the story in 3 different ways and 3 different perspectives, it blows me away from a filmmaking standpoint. So I think like if it wasn't on there, Train to Busan probably would have been.
Gotcha.
So it is a solid one, but my number 1 is Night of the Living Dead. Always will be.
Oh, okay.
It is
one
of my favorites. Yeah. I love it. So guys, we're gonna get into our final Well, no, we're going to get into our topic for tonight. But you know what? Let me kick things off before we bring everybody in so we can get out of the way. Mick's movie pick. That's right. We're celebrating Juneteenth this month and Black History. And I went with 1973's Black Caesar. This is a great movie. If you haven't checked it out, Larry Cohen, Fred Williamson as Black Caesar in the movie, where he's a young man who is coming up in power and he's taking on the Italian families. And it's just a lot of fun. It's one of those movies that was so guerrilla. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, there's Fred Williamson in the movie is being chased by corrupt cops all through the streets of New York. It was all real. Like they knew what it was. Like he was jumping into cabs, jumping out of cabs. The cab driver's like, what's going on? Thought he was being chased, the whole nine. Like everything, like the entirety of it, because it was shot guerrilla, was real. I think that's one of the best scenes. And then there's also tons more. So if you haven't had a chance to check out Black Caesar from 1973, go check it out. We also, for this week, Black Caesar is going to be out for our Snobs Film History Classic Film Review. You can learn more about the movie, inside stuff about it, and hear my review on it. So I'd love for you to go check that out. And we appreciate you. But before we get started, I do want to talk to you guys. Ooh, that's for later. I want to talk to you guys about our brand new sponsor. That's right, everybody. Schenectady, New York has come out, and they've chosen us, the Scene Snobs podcast, as the place to represent their #1 premier strip club. It's got wings, it's got things, and it's got entertainment to boot. The girls look good, the guys look great, and we're all there with the money to reign. I hope you are coming down to Shenanigans in Schenectady, because Shenanigans is where it's at, now on Uber Eats. All right. Let's get started and bring our guests in, and that is Dan the Man, Sturdy the Birdie, and Chris.
Woo! Hey, everybody. Dan, great to see you, man.
Sturdy doesn't like it when we talk about shenanigans and he's not there. So.
Oh. No, fuck that. Fuck that, please.
Wow.
Chris,
I almost wore the same shirt, Sturdy. I have the same shirt. I almost wore that tonight, too.
Oh, this is my first time wearing it, too.
They're comfy.
Nice shirt, though.
So, guys, have you seen any of the movies that we talked about tonight?
No. Yes.
Well, Dan, you're super busy.
We might go on a date night this weekend and see a movie. I don't know. But
which one?
I'm thinking Final Destination, probably.
It's so, well, horror fans, I think, should see that for Tony Todd's last movie.
Apparently, he'd ad-libbed his last line. That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's very heartfelt and touching. It really is. I can't take anything away from its beautiful moment, for sure.
It was good. That movie, it was decent. I enjoyed it.
It does come down to they did figure out what happened to him and why he passed away, and like they have it on video, and it just turns out that
It's empty, Gale.
he fell through a table.
There were no.
You forgot another fall ad on there.
There was no surgery as a result of that, but I do think
There's 10 surgeries.
Chris's out of the chair the other day was pretty epic.
Oh my god, I haven't gotten there yet, Sturdy. I'm getting there. That chair one was fantastic.
That was epic, but on the live, we were all doing something to where we didn't get to like catch him like in
I
the
didn't
act.
even see it at first. I was watching and I was like, wait, what?
Oh my god. I've watched that clip like 14 times in a row.
Yeah.
We'll just like, and I can't help because like we all just like burst out laughing. And it's so out, like for a second there, I was like, this is too perfect. I think he staged this.
To be honest with you, man, I was like, bro, if I fall asleep during this stream and fall out this chair, that was my #1 fear going into the fucking marathon. I was like, I better not fall asleep and fall out the chair. Nope, didn't fall asleep, just broke a chair and fell out the bitch.
You know how funny that would have been though, with the time where he did doze off, we just let him out here and he ended up falling out the chair like that.
I went to bed. How long did you guys just leave him up? I went to bed at like 2. You guys were streaming and I went to bed. How long did you leave Chris up?
Oh no, I was up until about like 8:45 or so.
You did fall asleep.
Yeah, I dozed off around like 8:45, and then yeah.
It was like for one movie.
Yeah, and then I went and laid down.
Yeah, those movies are like an hour and a half. But like I took them out.
Oh, you did? I thought you like left him in there where he was just like.
No, because
that would have been awesome.
He for snoring.
he doesn't believe in stuff like that. Apparently, sleeping and eating on podcasts is a faux pas.
I don't do ASMR. That's somebody else's job. Don't let them handle that shit. No, I like it was funny. So for anybody who's listening or watching and doesn't understand, but doesn't know what we're talking about. We did Friday the 13th, June 13th. We did a full franchise watch along on Discord. We played it as a watch party so you could watch along, and we did live commentary on YouTube and everywhere else on Stir Sturdy's channels. And it was epic, and it was fun, and it was wild, and we had a really good time with it. And we're doing it again on July 4th.
Yep.
I can't believe you guys are doing Jaws for it, man. Like
all four, baby. That's right. July 4th, starting at 8 p.m. We're gonna watch all four movies, and it's gonna be for charity.
Nice.
Nice. While we're talking about charity, Dan, can we bring up?
I'll be at a family reunion. I'll be at a family reunion.
All right, Dan. Can we make this happen? Can you go live at the family reunion and just see how many people you can fight? Just like take on, like set up the camera somewhere and just be like, for charity.
I don't want you to put this in his head because he's gonna figure out a way to do it.
I want him to ask everybody.
This is the one time
donates the most by a certain time gets to pick how many members of his family he has to fight.
I'd clear the room for charity. They wouldn't say that. I don't know though, now because these days, like, I'm like soft principal guy, and they're all hardened rednecks. So like, I might not be able to. That might not be a little tougher. A little tougher than back in the day. Oh my gosh!
Who did they vote for? And if the answer is very obvious to you,
you know exactly.
Throw math at them.
My brother, his wife, my wife will be pretty. I mean, that's it. There you go. Everybody else, you know exactly who they voted for.
I think you should just throw math at them. I'm serious. Just be like, okay.
I could.
All right. Johnny was walking to the street at 25 miles per hour, and then like Doug.
Oh, I thought you meant my brother. I thought you meant like my brother. I was like, he's not going to do much. He's weighing in probably like 160. He wouldn't do much damage, but I could.
You could throw them at people. Yeah. That's what I do. Whenever I was in a brawl, I would just pick up people and throw them at other people. I was like, I know. I'm Godzilla. He's King Kong. King Kong did it too. I'm sure.
Once he definitely did.
Hey, you guys, it'll be a great thing though.
I'd be so pissed off though. It feels so like disrespectful if one of you big motherfuckers just picked me up because you're in a fight with somebody else and just threw me out. Like, what the fuck, yo? I'm just sitting here minding my own goddamn business. It's right at that shit.
What you got to do is, like, a lot of times when you're big, they'll try and wrap your arms, grab down into their pants by their belt, and you can pick them up and use them as like hitting. Like it really works. They have to keep holding on or they'll fall. But if they fall, just drop them.
Yep,
that's fine. I used to pick my brothers up whenever I get drunk. Like
his brothers are not small either. His brothers are not small. Jesus, Mick.
Yeah, I used to. No, they hated it because I would dance around with them, like, and lock them up, and they would be like punching me in the face and stuff, and I'd just be like, I'm drunk, I don't care. I'm just like trying to dancing around with them. Like everybody loved it. I don't know why they got all bent out of shape.
Oh my god!
I mean, I get now why they get bent out of shape, but
you know how mad you would be if that was your little brother picking you up, just dancing around like that.
You got to be pretty big. You like. Shaq. I don't think Shaq could do that with Mick. Shaq's like the biggest human that I've ever seen in person.
I think Shaq could do it. Like me now, my size now, Shaq could definitely pick me up in 1993 and probably press me over his head. He was a beast back in the day.
Well, like, so prime Shaq, sure. Yeah, prime Shaq.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I can see. And if it was prime Mick, I was a lot thinner, so it would have been easier.
Your bouncer days?
No, those didn't make me thinner. It was after I got hurt at work.
Now I'm just picturing Mick sitting on Shaq's shoulders playing chicken in the pool. You just punch Shaq in the face. I know, you just punch Shaq in the face.
Everybody would be like,
We should do a towering inferno. And
get up the high dive and clothesline him like LOD.
I just launch you off at people. You're like our Wolverine.
That'd be fun as hell. I am game for that.
There's a music video that my son loves, like, because it's like a father and son, and so he loves that one. But there's one where the father throws him into like a foam pit, and like he's flying through the air. He's like, "Can you do that? Can you throw me in a foam pit like that?" I was like, "I'd throw you right now like that. Let's do it." And he's just like, "There's no foam." I'm like, "Well, I mean, nothing will wake you up redder than the ground. Trust me."
Reflexes will be cat-like after that. Hit that a couple times.
That kid would jump around. He'd be like Black Panther or Batman. He would just like fall into pose. Me, my arms would hurt for like a week and a half.
Mm-hmm. Maybe longer.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, gentlemen. Not looking forward to tonight.
Why? It's gonna be great.
Why not?
I'm gonna relive some stories where I was a real loser. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna do a mixtape, everyone. So this is our mixtape episode. Where if you guys are unfamiliar with our mixtape episodes, it's our very few times where we can celebrate the music that we love. We pick a different theme. Sometimes we've done love. Sometimes we've done heartbreaks. Sometimes we've done horror movies. Sometimes we've done beach movies or beach songs, stuff like that. Like, so this time I thought it would be fun for our 10th one. There's a big one. We're going big on this one. Summer crush songs or songs for like unrequited love or the ones that got away. It's going to be an interesting one. And we're gonna go around the horn, but let's kick things off with my buddy Sturdy. I want to see where he goes with this. I want to know what he's been working on. He was working on it hard earlier, so I'm looking forward to it. So Sturdy, you have the floor.
Now, this list was harder for me because I never equated love with anybody else, or not love music with anybody else, because I'm just like, I listen to music for myself. So it took me a little bit to get this shit going. But what I did was kicking it off with Anne-Marie, Why Don't We Fall? And am I going through my whole list or just doing one?
You're doing the whole list.
Oh.
Yeah.
After that, Shy, If I Ever Fall in Love. Got a lot of Usher on here. Burn. Yeah. Let It Burn, for those who don't know.
Oh, good.
Case.
Get some penicillin.
Or just jump in the pool if it's hot. Case, Missing You.
Okay.
Usher, Again, You Got It Bad. Usher, Again, You Remind Me. Usher, Confessions 2. If that's not a breakup, I don't know what the fuck it is. Yo, this dude called his girl talking about something. I got the side chick pregnant. That's wild. And it was a true song too.
I think it was true. Yeah, that whole album I think it was true.
Yeah.
Yep. And then more of like, I guess you could say a crush one, Chris Brown, With You. Boyz II Men, End of the Road. Mary J. Blige, Not Gonna Cry. Usher, You Make Me Wanna, which again, he's doing his thing again. 702, Get It Together. And then I had to finish off with Alicia Keys, Fallen, which I'm not in love with her. It's every damn time I see her.
That's the unrequited love for that one, is Alicia Keys. All the other ones, there are some young ladies out there who have danced to Sturdy to a lot of Usher.
Listen, Usher just had like he has just so many moments through his albums where those songs just hit, and not only hit, but you hear them all damn year, and then 17 years later. Yeah. Not everybody can say that. Besides Michael Jackson, he's an anomaly. Michael Jackson's different.
That's true. He was something different. Well, thank you for the list, and I appreciate it. I love it. Well, we're gonna go with another brown man.
Those colors out of the way.
No. Dan's going next.
Wait, we're at the front of the bus today.
Oh Jesus!
You'd be more in the middle.
How mad would he be if we made him sit in the middle and we were all in the back?
Oh my gosh!
Like, no, you got to stay up there because your punishment movie was fantastic.
Oh, nice! I'm glad.
I'd
I'll
like that.
watch it.
Please
like,
feel
I'm gonna
free
watch it,
to when you share this, like, don't. All I ask is like, don't share any of the names of the crushes and stuff. I don't want to put anybody on blast.
I got you. So, Ayo, there was Keisha, LaQuisha, LaTonda, LaWanda.
I love that song, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
A good way to start.
All right. So, in all seriousness, I started out with Brian McKnight back at 1.
Oh,
You're kind of like a dream come true. It's like, 2, you want to be with me. Yeah. Joe, I want to know. Because I just get obsessed and infatuated. I just want to know what makes you tick, baby. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what turns you on.
I like that.
I'm one of the rare few that loves Joe's song. I don't want to be a player. Before Big Pun got his hands.
Before
Yeah.
Big Pun. Yeah.
It was good either way. Either way, long story, backstory to that. The Around the Way girl, LL Cool J, take you back to the early 90s, you know what I'm saying? Mid 90s. We got a little Ja Rule, I'm Real with J-Lo. Some PYT by MJ, because you gotta let her know she's a pretty young thing, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure you let her know exactly what she is.
See, I like old women.
They feel good about that. You call them young, they're like, "Oh, honey, stop."
I was more of a Golden Girls type of guy.
It's like, "Oh, I wrote you the will on that."
Pretty old thing.
Baby, you're the pot. Pretty old timer.
What are you into? Fossils? Archaeology.
I got a bone for you.
Woo! Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was good.
I got Backstreet Boys. I want it. Oh wait, what? I want it that way.
I want it that. I sang that out of tune.
I don't want to hear. I want it that way.
I can't sing it right now.
Yeah,
everybody's singing it all at the same time. Everybody's singing at the same time.
Nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why.
Yeah, tell me why.
Tell me why. Let me hang it. All right.
I sang it with you. Remember who was there for you, Chris?
I was waiting for Shake to come and be like, I never want to hear you sing.
No.
I wanted that.
My wife loves
way?
boy bands, and so like I have to put up with that. Can I tell a quick story, Mick? Chris, is that okay?
No.
Yeah, fine.
It's like an ultimate. It's like an ultimate.
I don't care. It's his show.
Then I was at a bar on Wednesday because there was a rain out from the Tigers game, and I did a takeover of the jukebox, and my wife from home with her like best friend started using the app to like troll us with Backstreet Boys songs and Dixie Chicks.
Well, they probably got tired of the 15th Hoobastank song.
You went mute, Mick. What did you say? Tired of what?
My mic muted me because my burn was so good. It was like, no, we can't have you annihilating him.
Oh God!
Listen.
No, I played nothing but like old country. That's what I like. Conway Twitty.
Oh, we know what that kind of country plays.
Yeah.
We know what they talk about with that kind of country. They're like, where's the old maple?
But they just kept playing like this terrible music, and like there were 6 Backstreet Boys songs that they played, and like constant troll, man. So
you have to differentiate old country. I don't know what's
like
going on.
Johnny Cash on the road again, or are we talking like
no, like old like Merle Haggard, Conway Twitty, Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline. That's I do tap.
That all sounds so
yeah.
Oh my God. I like the country the way it was before civil rights.
No, they were there. They were way different. It's not like now. Now it's like.
Sorry, I'm judging people on their names. Jebediah.
I live in Patsy Cline's hometown. I'm just messing with you.
I'm horrible.
Sorry for the interruption, Chris. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, you're fine. So since we were on the boy bands, I have Bye 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 by NSYNC now. To keep you guys in the loop, I would talk to as many women as I could, girls at the time when I was in high school. And I was the kid mean mugging, walking through New York City to go to school with Backstreet Boys and NSYNC in my headphones while I looked like a thug with a First Down jacket, my Timberland boots,
Down. Oh
my Yankee hat.
Oh my God. Jesus.
And
How
I
many
was
white women were you talking to with
and I was on
Backstreet Boys and
everybody that I would see. If I saw you, I was talking to you. You got hair, you got your air's going in and out of you. I'm talking to you.
I love it. I love it.
I got some Chris Brown, Yo up next.
Okay.
Oh, Yo, you know. I got Mario, Let Me Love You. I got I'll Make Love to You by Backstreet Boys. Everybody knows that one. I did put What They Really Want from DMX, obviously, because that's kind of like the summer like track for me back in the day. Cruel Summer by Ace of Base, which there's two versions. There's actually a early
there's a Bananarama version.
Yeah, the Bananarama was the original artist.
Yeah.
And then then the remake, and then what's her name? Taylor Swift did her own version. It was
but Ace of Base actually has like a remix of their own song.
Oh, they have the two. It was probably on a single back in the day.
Yep, that was actually how I had it.
Yeah.
Spring Love by a band called TKA. So back in the late 80s, early 90s, a lot of Latinos, they listened to this thing called freestyle, which was a lot of like dance music in the clubs in New York City and shit like that. You guys may know it as a different name. I don't know if you know them, but Jocelyn Enriquez, TKA. The list goes on and on. I got fucking tapes of them.
I know TKA. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah, they also did like Maria, I think, right? Maria.
Oh no, like I know them. I don't.
Oh,
like,
gotcha,
I'm not a connoisseur. I'm not a connoisseur of music as it is.
Gotcha.
So like I can't say I'm like in depth. I just know when you said TKA, I remember who they were.
I was gonna say it's funny you mentioned freestyle music, Chris, because when I was talking about this list, first thing my wife mentioned, freestyle music. I started singing and dancing, then put her headphones on. I started playing freestyle music.
Nice. That's it, man. And then since we touched on Maria, I have Carlos Santana, Maria.
No.
You know,
Okay.
Great.
Gotta love that. It's been sampled recently over the last couple of years by DJ Khaled.
Oh, yeah.
And then Will Smith, Summertime. Will Smith,
hell yeah.
Summertime.
Summertime.
The conclusion to my list.
I love it. I love it. Good list. Solid list.
Yeah.
Come on,
And have
Paul.
you learned anything from these songs and all these young ladies that used to play these songs for?
Yeah, quite a bit.
I love it.
Good
Perfect answer. All right. Because I don't want to seem racist, Dan the Man, you're up next.
That makes it even worse.
No. I'll make Paul last.
So I grew up in tourist town, and I created my playlist called Locals Only, a Summer Fling soundtrack. It was pretty common for girls from Chicago, downstate, and stuff like that. A lot of us just would hook up with chicks over the summer. A lot of heartache, a lot of heartbreak from it. Like, to be honest, like you do eventually probably like these days, you'd just be on social media with them. So there probably wouldn't be any kind of like whatever. But back then, I mean, you just never saw them again. I know that sounds really weird, but like you just never saw. They'd leave Ludington after 2 weeks because they came there on vacation, and like Tim and I talked about it. We're like, oh my god, it's like for him because like he obviously was in high school in the 2000s. He said it was like John Mayer and who's that like Banana Pancakes guy? I always forget that singer's name.
You graduated in like 2001.
Yeah. But
it's not a huge difference.
He graduated in like 2008 or 9 or something. It's a big difference, man. Like music wise, oh my gosh. But
I can't wait to hear you. I purposely didn't look at your list.
So all of mine kind of tells a narrative too, because this is kind of like what the experience was to have girls come from downstate or out of state, and like you thought you were in love with them, and then 2 weeks later they'd be gone, you know. And that this was common for a lot of guys that went to Ludington High School. So the part 1 is The Spark, New Girl in Town. Number 1, LFO, Summer Girls. If you guys remember that song.
Yeah, we remember.
I love girls that wear Abercrombie
and Fitch. Yeah. Blink 182, First Date.
Okay.
Which is a great song, just completely aside from the list. A band you guys might not know, Phantom Planet, California.
Come on, pull it up, Mick. Pull it up while he's going too. This is perfect.
It's a great. It's really like it's about somebody like basically coming back to their hometown. Oh yeah. 4 is Weezer, Island in the Sun. Another great song.
That was a good
but
song.
Like it's like that happy point where like, and if you're analyzing, it's out of desperation, but you hang out nonstop with the same person. Like every day you're like hanging out with them because in all seriousness, they're going to be gone in a week or 2. Then the Carefree Chaos, The Heat, Sublime Santeria, which is just a great song on its own. But 311 Amber, which is
311 Love Song. How could I forget that one? My bad.
That's a good one.
Lit, My Own Worst Enemy.
Yes.
Because there's always something you mess up on. There's always something you mess up on. It doesn't matter what, but there's always a time where you mess up.
I've never messed up with girls. It's always been their fault.
It's all.
I've never done
Preach.
anything. Shut up.
Part 3 is More Than a Fling, but you didn't expect it. Boys Like Girls Thunder, and believe it or not, I know Miss Shake's over there chiming in on this, but once upon a time, Mrs. Shake was a girl of the summer while I had a girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
I hope you're not just telling her this now. This is a bad time to be revealing shit like that.
No. She's upstairs. Mind you, she's like right upstairs. She's probably going to march down and just punch me right in the face.
All right. Keep going then.
For charity.
Yeah, for charity. But the song that she and I shared with each other was Thunder. You see? I mean, she doesn't.
You won!
There's a story that she really doesn't want me to tell, and I won't.
Don't tell it.
Good.
Damn it.
I say tell it. I say roll with it. See what happens.
You want to?
Notice how the color people say no. Avoid the danger.
I'm saying yes.
I say poor judgment is the best way to go in situations like that.
She has some color in her too. That's a terrible idea.
Oh my god!
I grew up with a black woman in the house. I don't know how we're either.
I'm not saying that you should say it. I'm not saying that you should say it because I don't understand what they're saying. I'm saying that you should say it despite everything that they're telling you.
She made you listen to boy bands at the bar with the boys.
I'm just saying. Oh, too.
So we were the best man and maid of honor for a wedding together, and we were calling back and forth. That's how things like just got started, honestly. Like we were talking for 2-3 hours on the phone about stuff, and like it just was like a natural chemistry.
Nice.
And I was dragging my feet because I was with a girl who had moved away to a different state, and I'm not a kind of guy. I don't cheat, man. I don't. And I felt real awkward about it. And we were at a bar because remember, maid of honor and best man, right? So her friend at the time and my best friend Jonathan were getting married, so we were hanging out all the time. And she may have threatened to put the full court press on me in a sports metaphor. And she's always kind of regretted that line. She blames it on the fact that she had 2 bottles of wine that night, but I thought it was pretty endearing when she said.
I blame it on the fact that she knew what she wanted and she went for it,
and she got it.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong.
Apparently, when we walked down the aisle for the wedding part, oh man, everybody just kind of knew because we danced like down the aisle.
There you go.
It was like when that craze was going on, and like.
We knew when she punched you in the face, and many other reasons for sure. Oh, we're just telling all the secrets then. Yeah, we are. Wow. First of all, Dan, can I ask you a question about all these other girls with all these other songs?
Don't do that. Don't do that, Stan.
Would any of them let you have hung up a Dokken flag and behind you?
I mean, it was so. Wait, we're talking about like flings, summer flings, man. I don't know. Like I barely.
The answer is no.
And then this is a little bit after high school, but The Killers' "Read My Mind," which is a great song.
Great song.
Like, I know it's a deep cut, but it's a really good song if you like the Killers. Google Dolls' "Slide," which is another like solid song from the 90s. Part 4, the ending, because they always leave. The Gin Blossoms have a song called "Hey Jealousy" that I think really kind of signifies this.
Hey Jealousy.
Yeah. Now I could have gone with Don Henley, but instead I went with the Atari's version, "The Boys of Summer," because I prefer the Atari's version of the song.
Right.
And then finally, when they go, you spend your whole day just like driving around your car, like this. So Smashing Pumpkins, 1979, like that.
Oh God, yeah,
yeah. Because you just drive. That's all you do, and you just got your CD player going, and like you just drive up and down the beach. So then afterwards, you always got to reflect. And so I got some good songs about reflection with it. Fleetwood Mac, "Dreams," which is like that recognition that you're probably never going to talk again. Third Eye Blind, "Motorcycle Drive-By." There's a great line from it. "I've never been so alone, and I've never been so alive," because it's that part where like, man, fuck that. Like, like, and then finally the coup de grace at the end of the album, "The Cure," "Just Like Heaven." And that's where you realize, like, yeah, it was a good experience, whatever, I moved on. So
I dig it. Good movie too.
I burned it onto a CD actually, just for old time's sake. I sent it to the Facebook chat. I made a little cover for the CD on it. So
I love it. Oh yeah, okay, that's what that was.
What I learned from that is when I have kids, make sure I live in a coastal or a touristy spot, because then my kids all set.
Oh, dude, well, there's no risk, and so the girls are a lot more like they're totally willing to just like
none.
Well, you're not.
It's like being an uncle. You get to take the kids, and then you get to give them back.
How many condoms did you use on your escapades?
We're not talking.
What are condoms?
No risk.
What are condoms?
I'm already in a hot enough water. We're not talking.
I tried to tell you not to do it.
I'm glad you did it, Dan.
Jump off of something.
Hey,
No,
I didn't say you had to tell stories, but they are appreciated.
You're damn right, Dan. She did.
Oh, you leave this man alone. He did a good job, and he did a good thing telling us these stories. I love it. I love it.
I'm sorry,
Wait,
Mr.
can I
Jake.
clarify something? I'm sorry before you go.
What?
So,
wait, he's still here.
I just realized when you said earlier, "Oh, did you learn anything from all of them and all this?" And I was like, a ton. I just want to clarify. I learned absolutely nothing with the girls, but I learned a lot because of all the girls.
Oh, yeah. Listen.
I learned that they all know when you're talking to all of them.
Listen.
Oh yeah.
You guys may be Mr. Cool, but back in the day, and my list will show this, that was not the case for me. So think Ducky, but lamer. Okay, that's where we're going with mine. So
Ducky,
you guys
Landport
may be
Mine?
pulling all these great girls and stuff, and that's great. I definitely was creepy and cringeworthy around a lot of girls back in the day, and I'm sorry. So this list serves as my stupidity. It's my redemption. But Paul, what's your redemption?
Oh, there's no redemption. There are going to be no stories with any of these songs. take them as you
questions.
will.
Are you taking questions?
I'm not taking questions.
But I have a question.
That's unfortunate. Dan's the teacher, or he's the principal. He can answer, not me. Anyway, so we're going to start with "Want You Bad" by The Offspring.
Okay.
Ooh, what's that about?
It's a good song. Listen to it. You'll figure it out for yourself. Modern Girl, "Bleachers" by The Bleachers. "Crawling King Snake" by The Doors.
Great song.
Kind of weird, you guys.
That's deep cut. That's deep cut right there. I love that song, Paul.
Now I want to hear the story.
You do not. This one, I know it's kind of a more recent song, but it kind of makes you think back in time. Like, I wish it should have come out like 10 years earlier. Anyway, it's "Dial Drunk" by Post Malone
Good
and Noah
fucking
Kahan.
song.
Don't Worry Baby by the Beach Boys. Wow.
Can I jump in on that real quick? Did you
Yeah.
I just found it out. I didn't know this. You know the Ronettes song "Be My Baby"? Well,
Yeah.
Brian Wilson was obsessed with that song. He listened to it thousands of times. And that song, he wrote that song as an answer to their song.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that was interesting. I don't care if
that's
you knew it. They didn't know it.
It's only funny because that's my next song is "Be My Baby."
It works. But you
By
did
the
it out of
Ronettes.
order. Now tell us who they were about.
No.
Oh.
And then there's "Baby I Love You" by the Ronettes. And then "You Make Me Feel Like Dancing" by Leo Sawyer.
Okay.
"Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me" by Mel Carter. And then we get kind of dirty, so we're going with "The Hills" by The Weeknd.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And then you got "Planes" by Jeremiah and J. Cole.
Yeah.
So, yep. And then you got "Best I've Ever Had" by Drake. Look, high school jam. That had to make the list. "Live with the Glory of Love" by Say Anything. Yeah, that was freshman year.
Oh my god!
Freshman year. It was freshman year of high school.
I'm just gonna go jump off a cliff right now.
Don't do it.
I don't even want to.
You just got another surgery.
Yeah, don't jump off anything. We don't need to.
No. You can jump off of shit. Just don't piss your wife off.
We got "Thinking of You" by Katy Perry. We got "Love on the Brain" Rihanna. We got "Electric Love" by Borns. And then we got "Boots" by Hardy. And that is the playlist.
Okay. That's quite a eccentric list.
Paul's got some pain underneath this list, I think.
Yeah.
Paul worked for the circus and he just went on a murder spree. And every song playing during the
Paul was the people coming to town.
Paul's
I was the girl. I'm the girl from the story.
That's why
that's me.
Look what you did.
Yeah.
Look what you did, Dan. That's what you did. That's why he picked all the songs that he picked, those heartbroken songs. No consequences. Bullshit.
Dan's my dad. Dan, are you my dad?
Oh my god. Holy shit.
I guess we got an answer on that condom question.
Go put that on backwards for me real quick. I gotta see. The face is kind of the same shape.
Put a
I
hat on
do
backwards,
have a penchant for non-Caucasian women. I don't know.
Honduras women?
That would be hilarious.
White Dan.
I mean,
can I show you one of my ass cheeks? Because I'm pretty late.
I'll show you one of my ass cheeks, but you'll think the dog man's here.
Then the whole screen's gonna go white.
Not that low, people.
Jesus Christ.
My ass isn't that fat that you can't see the hair.
I didn't say that. Who said that?
Oh,
All right, I'll put myself in a hot seat now. God, everybody has this list, and then I look at mine and I'm like, oh.
Do you have stories with your list? Or is it just songs?
No, unfortunately, I don't.
liar.
All right, listen, they're going to be short stories. They're going to be embarrassing, and they should be, because let me tell you something. I was the type of kid, like teenager, who so I lost my virginity young-ish to a very weird situation, which I will not talk about till I have 5,000 subscribers. I've said that. I will not. And that's in here. That's part of this story. This story is a chronological journey of crushes. Ones that didn't work, ones that did work, and one really only worked. But I am a firm believer that all of the young women that I have encountered, and some older, have encountered in my life. No, I said some older. All of these women have helped shape me to be the person I needed to be to meet my wife. And she helped shape me to something further. And I appreciate every single one of them for it. And every other woman outside of this list who helped me become the person I need to be. That's one thing, especially in a red pill world where everybody's lonely and shit. Get okay with yourself. And don't worry about it as much. And don't hate women, because they're helping shape you to who you need to be.
He's right. And by get okay with yourself, he means touch yourself more.
Touch yourself more. You know, if you're lonely, jerk off. It's fun.
There you go.
And in fact, that gets covered on my list too. So
Oh,
here we go.
Bloodhound Gang?
You didn't tell me we had to have a jerk off.
Okay, listen, there's a crush on myself at some point in this. I have to like all I had was me at one point. So
Better be jizzed in my pants then.
No. So it's a crush. It didn't have to be a real person. I will not share any other names outside of fictional names.
Alyssa Milano.
No, that was my brother's crush. I was a little too young for that. My brother really liked her. And I liked what's her name from My Girl?
Eartha Kitt.
Oh, God.
Veda,
Sharon Stone.
Chomsky or something like that. But that was like young, like kind of like, oh, she's cute, sort of thing. That wasn't anything weird. All right. First up, Under the Boardwalk by the Drifters.
Okay.
First girl I ever kissed and had a crush on. That was her favorite song.
Oh,
Were you guys under the boardwalk in New Jersey?
Swear
No,
it wasn't under the boardwalk. It wasn't South Jersey. It wasn't under the boardwalk, though, but it was on a beach. So,
okay.
Second up, Kiss from a Rose by Seal. Because I masturbated to Dr. Chase Meridian more times than I can remember. And that music video had her in it, and for some reason, it just reminds me of that.
Chase Meridian.
Hold up. So, were you tugging away to this video too?
Sometimes. I was a young lad back then in 1993, 94, 95.
You got to remember, this is back when the Sears catalog and the Sports Illustrated swimsuits was material. You feel
Y'all
me?
don't even know. You don't know about trying to find the channel on the cable where it was slightly fuzzy.
Or scrambling, yeah. Up here, I still remember the channels. It was 96 and 97.
Yes, it was. And then later when they added more channels, it became like 67 or 68 for us. But the Spice Channel, and the adult channel. Listen, next week if you join in, we're going to be playing a game. We're going to play a movie quote game. I'm going to take a quick break to put this out there. We're going to play a movie quote game where everybody who plays is going to be giving us 2 truths and a lie. And I will tell you, one of the things that gets mentioned is what I masturbated to for the first time. And it is fucking worth knowing. So make sure you come back next week because it is odd. And it was on TV the other day, which is the weirdest. So going on to the next one, to the beautiful days of the 8th grade in 1996, it was I Swear, All for One.
Oh, I slow danced so many times that damn song. Oh my God.
Oh man. And listen, to the young lady in the 8th grade who I liked and didn't like me back, I appreciate you. I was rejected more times than I can count. I appreciate you for teaching me about that, teaching me about rejection. Because rejection, I got in the film industry. Rejection, you're not okay with rejection, you got a problem. I don't care about rejection. Fine by me.
You know how much easier that makes interviews?
Oh my God, yeah.
I was trying to be with her. I'm just trying to make some money off of here. That's it.
I wasn't even trying to be with her. I was like 8th grade. Like I was,
you know what I mean?
I was like, I just want to hold your hand. But yeah, then you cross right over. But oh man.
Yep.
All right, this one, the next step, this is taking it to the summer of my 16th year on this earth. So probably 97, 98, summer-ish started to happen. And that's where I began a 3-year love affair with the woman that this song represents. And that's summer of 69, Bryan Adams. That's when I lost my virginity. Again, I will not divulge that one until either she dies of natural causes, or I get to 5,000.
Damn it!
So make it happen or don't. I don't care. All right. So here's
you know what you need to have on your thing. I think you need to have like a little counter that says when I'm going to divulge this story. How much?
I have 5,000.
I mean, I got that.
That's trapped right in. I'm not telling anybody. It's an interesting one now.
Nick doesn't want to. He's like, I don't want to tell that damn story.
Oh, it's a wild one. I don't, because I don't like to brag about it, but at the same time, like, yeah, it's kind of a juicy story. Not for me. You're gonna look at me and be like, "Whoa, are you okay?"
What's some cookies without a little MILF? Like, all right, Mick.
So much more to that story. All right. So next up is a girl I had a crush on. She's the older sister of a guy I was friends with. Smoking hot. smoking hot girl. Could not care if I lived or died. I did see this movie with her though, which was Armageddon, and I don't want to miss a thing. Aerosmith
Don't want to
me
miss
of
a thing. Yeah,
it reminds me of her. So it's a song about summer crushes. I'm picking the songs that remind me.
Oh, I remember. That's so many slow dances, man. Like
so many, and plus you got to remember, you're young. Wait, yeah, you're a couple of years younger than me. So like songs change, all right. And geographically, in the Bronx and in Brooklyn, they're not listening to this.
Yes, they were.
I know, I'm kidding.
They just wasn't telling nobody. Believe me, I was there.
They were doing it when the door was closed. Their headphones on. Okay.
Mean mugging.
Tears down their eyes. Just like, what are you listening to? Tupac.
That and Iris. That and Google Dolls Iris.
Oh God. Oh my God. That almost made my list. It didn't quite make it. Everything I Do by Bryan Adams.
Nice.
That's the second Bryan Adams song on this list. And the reason it exists. Okay, but I'm gonna tell a story. I really like this girl. Nice person, nothing bad. I don't have anything bad to say about any of the young ladies that this list is representing. Only that I was an idiot. I liked her. I got her a music box. And that was the song. Like, I didn't pick it. Like, I didn't like say, hey, can you make sure it's this song? They had like 3 songs, and that was recognizable when I'm a movie guy, so I went with that one. And that's so cringy and cheesy.
You just ignored losing the accent midway through the film, Mick. Come on, man.
Oh, I have a special love for that movie. It's bonkers. Like I like a lot of stupid stuff. Yeah, he loses it halfway through. First of all, one of what's his name? Hans Gruber. Snape. What's his name?
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Snape.
Nicolas Cage. Duh.
You guys are killing me. It's driving me nuts. Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman, that's one of his best roles. He plays an amazing role in that.
What was the song from the movie, Mick, though, that was even bigger than the Bryan Adams song that had the 3 in it?
Oh my God, yeah. It's like the Robin Hood like orchestra.
Yeah, that was huge. I remember how big that was. Like, oh my God, it was Sting, Bryan Adams, and Rod Stewart, right?
Oh no, you're talking about the other one, the All for One and One for All.
Yeah, am I right?
Yeah. No, that wasn't for this. That was for Three Musketeers.
Oh, you're right. They came out like really close.
They came out very close. Very close. Yeah. But that was a good one too. So that was like, so that's why I picked that song. It reminds me, again, all of these are a shine on like how stupid I was and how I was not understanding of love or any of that in any good way. And I think it's important to become that. So just keep that in mind, people who are out there listening or watching. Next song. Let's Get Married by Jagged Edge.
Nice. I love that song.
So there's 3 songs on here there's 4 songs on here that remind me of the same girl. Like fell in love with this girl. And I hope she's happy. I hope she's living a great life, things like that. I love my wife, all this stuff. But like she had an impact in my life in such a big way. And I'm not going to go that route. But Let's Get Married reminds me of her because when we were young, she did that thing where she was like, hey, how about by the time we're at this age?
Yeah.
And I think we've all done that. We all had that backup.
Everybody has something like that.
But she really liked me. And like she said, I was like, okay, 40. And she goes, well, about 35. What about 30? And like she was working it down. And I was just this song came out around that time. It just reminded me of that. And I thought it was adorable. So that was one. The next one reminds me of a woman who she was a really cool woman. She was just like, it wasn't like a relationship thing or anything like that. More friendly than anything, but like she was a really cool woman, single mom, badass, kind of kicking butt and taking names in life. And we were watching some Jude Law movie. I can't remember the name of it. It's some Jude Law movie where he plays like a guy who comes into his family's life, and then he falls in love with one of the daughters and stuff. But they play this song at the end for the final kiss, and I watched this with her. So every time I see it, I always had like a little bit of a crush on her. So every time I hear the song, I think of her. Truly, Madly, Deeply by Savage Garden.
That's a great song.
That's a great song. So that's one for me. And then so the next three remind me of that same girl from Let's Get Married. It's Wherever You Will Go from The Calling. It played a lot. It was just one of those songs. Yeah. Another one from Lifehouse, Everything.
Yep.
The song that was everywhere. It was everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I know Hanging by a Moment was big for them, and so was You and Me.
Yeah. I don't know You and Me, though.
Everything I remember played on Smallville. Like that was like one of those ones where outside of like, because I own the album for Lifehouse's first album, so I just remember really liking that song. I forget what we were doing or how I feel connected with her to that, but it was one of them for sure. Next one was in Florida. I was just sort of thinking about her, but me and my buddies were driving around. We just got Whataburger, and this came on the radio, and I remember blasting it, hands down, by Dashboard Confessional. And it reminded me of her. And like,
never been a fan.
That's okay. You don't have to have good taste. It's okay. So, now the reason I say that is because like I wasn't with that girl at the time. I was living in Florida, going to college, stuff like that, and like it was just not in any way like it had passed, but like that was a song that reminded me of her. So it was more the unrequited part. This next song, along with Dan, these next two songs remind me of the same girl. One, this song was playing in the bar when she called me and needed me. And it just reminded me, and then I like raced over, and like the song was like playing in my head, and that is 1979 Smashing Pumpkins.
Nice.
It's a great song. It's a great song. If I ever make a movie about a situation in my life, which I have written, I wrote a manuscript for a book, but if I ever write it into a movie, that song will 1000% be in there. And it's 100%. Next one up is Crazy by Gnarls Barkley, because the same girl that reminded me, the 1979 reminds me of, Crazy reminds me of. But in the most beautiful, you know how like you meet somebody who's so out there and crazy, but like in the most freeing spiritual way.
Yeah.
That's what that was. That was like a spiritual awakening of love.
They teach you a lot.
Yeah. Yes. And that was what that was for me. So that song, when I hear it, like doesn't like convey that or say that's who she was. It's that idea of like, I'm accepting this crazy that's like so foreign and alien to me that I love it. Next up is a personal song about the same girl again from back in the day, but this reminds me of a different point in our lives and another girl who I was with and cared about very much. And that is The Last Temptation by Corey Glover and Vice.
I don't know that.
Corey Glover was the lead singer of Cult of Personality. Living Color. He was, and he had a side band that would kind of go out and perform, and it was called Vice. And The Last Temptation is one of his songs, and it is one of my favorite love songs. I love that song. But it reminded me of her, reminded me of a situation where temptation came into play, and always meant a lot to me. That's all. The last two are for my wife because they were the final two. I mean, we make memories with great songs all the time, but the two that really remind me of her, Wagon Wheel, which was our slow song for dancing at our wedding, which was just sort of a big song at the time we met around here. But our main song is Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon. That's the song when we were dating. We would send that back and forth to each other, play. And it's still like I listen to it, just having fun with it all the time. That's my loserdom without a lot of the backstory, but I loved it. And those are my songs, my mixtape. I love all our mixtapes, honestly. And I listen to them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did a lot.
So you were sharing the one that like Let's Get Married, Mick. This is kind of morbid, but like 2 or 3 of the songs that were on my list. There's a girl I dated pretty much my entire senior year, and at the end of the summer, basically, when she was going to college and I was going away to college, I asked her to marry me, and she rightfully declined because she's smarter than me. She's freaking dead now.
Oh wow. Shit.
Yeah, and like it was so weird how I found out. Like I found out through another friend, And it's always kind of weird for me now to think about that time period, because that was a formative thing. The end of my senior year, that time period between like December and June your senior year, those things, like, they basically stay in the old cranium for the rest of your life. And now it's really weird to think about some of that stuff. And I omitted an Incubus song because of that, because that whole Incubus album, I had to drive 30 minutes to her house and 30 minutes back to mine every time to see her. I did it all the time. All my money went towards gas at that point. And I would put that CD on, and it was like almost the exact distance that, I really needed to drive. And that just kind of made me think that. I was like, wow. I mean, I think that we all kind of have that person right around that time that you're like, it's formative.
Yeah. Listen, there's a song, like I told you, like even when my buddy died, Lenny, Lenny, like he died at 39, and you're like, fuck, like we were in high school together. What is this about? And I'm not getting into the depression part of that, but with the songs that remind me, I got a song that reminds me of him, and he always said it was our song. It was Drops of Jupiter. Aww. And the reason being is we were driving, and he was in the passenger side, and I'll never forget, because this is just who he was. And we're driving, the song's on, and he goes, "Hey, it's our song." And I'm like, "What? Why is this our song? Isn't this like a love song?" And he goes, "No, I'm your best friend, and you're always fucking wrong, and I still stick up for you." Because there's that line in the song is like, I'll always stick up for you even when I know you're wrong. And I'm like, God damn it. So that it's always, every time it comes on, it like reminds me of him. So like that idea of like, and there's quite a few people from high school that just like, God damn, I'm getting old.
Yeah, we're getting old, man.
I don't like it. I don't want to get too old, but
at least you're not Paul's dad. I don't know.
What's wrong with that?
Wait, what? What happened to Paul's dad?
He's rewinding.
No, he's saying at least.
Dan's admitting that he's Paul's
I
dad.
realized he said that
You heard it here first, y'all. I'm about to get a 23andMe and collect.
I imagine a 12-year-old Dan in Honduras, just going on a tear, and he's just like, no condoms, ladies, just like Michigan, and just like rolling through.
I never said that, by the way. I never said that. I never said that.
He said just like Michigan.
You never said it, but you never not said it either.
We know you
didn't
thought
deny it.
You got to tell us.
Oh
it's
my
okay,
God! How old are you, Paul? How old are you?
33.
Okay, so no. I would have to be I would 9 years old. No.
It's possible. She's an older woman.
My birth mom had me at 13, so I mean.
Oh God! Just needed a donation. You're the dad. You're half Viking.
That'd be
Donation
dope.
Dan is what you're calling him now, Mick?
Donation
Oh
Dan
my God.
is the.
I am so sorry this even became
Double D.
All right, guys. Everybody throw together a mixtape. What songs do you think all of Dan's kids love?
I had a suggestion, Mick. I think this would be a really, really cool list. Rather than a mixtape, 10 movies that you basically like used they tie into dates that you had when you were growing up.
Dante's Peak.
When you were talking about Batman,
Forsaken.
my first thought was Romeo and Juliet in 1996, R&J.
If you throw out a movie, here's the thing about me is like with music, like with you guys and stuff like that. If you throw out a movie to me, I can tell you where I was when I saw it and who I was with and what happened.
Showgirls. I want to know.
Oh my God, so easy.
Yeah.
We rented that one. Me and my buddy watched that, and it
Like
was
1,000 times, yeah.
And then like he left, and I watched it more. Well, I mean, there was Rewind on
Jesse
the
Spano.
VCR back then.
Yeah.
Jesse Spano, baby. I mean, yeah, and I was a Saved by the Bell kid, so.
Same.
But Mick, I'm surprised that it's Batman and not The Mask.
What do you mean? Oh, Cameron Diaz was truly amazing, but there was something. Here's the thing: I don't find she is a very attractive woman. I'm not putting anything down about Nicole Kidman, but Nicole Kidman has never stood out to me as like this dire beauty. Like it wasn't an attraction thing for me. But there's something about Dr. Chase Meridian in that movie alone, that when I see her, I'm like, oh my God, it's like the greatest thing ever.
And
Like,
definitely not Alicia Silverstone, right?
No. In fact, if anything, her being in the fourth one ruined it for me.
Oh my god.
God, she was
So
the
wrong.
worst Batgirl. How am I wrong? It's
So
the
wrong.
worst Batman movie. I know you're doing this just to mess with me. I know I'm putting on my shield.
Do we count the Jokers as
I'm putting
Batman
on my
movies?
shield.
Because the second
You
Joker
can't hurt
movie is
me.
probably the worst Batman movie ever.
Which one?
The second Joker.
Joker, Dokes Day, whatever.
Yeah.
I want to tell you guys something right now about your wrongness in this life.
They love or Dokes They love or some shit.
I didn't watch it, so I don't have anything.
Neither have I yet.
I'm gonna look you.
That's
right
how
in the
bad it
eyes.
was.
I'm gonna look you right in the eyes, Paul. Yes, Joker 2 is terrible, but Joker 2 tried to be something different. It failed, wasn't good. It tried to be something different. You know what Batman and Robin tried to be? I have no idea because there was nipples and bullshit.
Underrated. It tried to be underrated.
No, it was terrible.
That was
I
terrible.
hated that even as
You're
a
not
kid.
winning that
Both
one.
Batman and Robin and Batman
terrible.
Forever.
Tried being
Of course it was
campy.
bad.
Dan, you're not winning that one. Dan, your take on Jaws alone makes me question you.
Of
I'm
course.
wondering
Dan
if syphilis,
you don't like
I'm wondering if
Jaws?
syphilis was caught during the making of this mixtape.
Paul, I think that Jaws is 2/3 of a phenomenal movie. I'm on the record for that.
Happy 50th anniversary, Jaws.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's wrong with Dan's take on the movie? I'm confused now.
He's wrong.
Is it not a good movie in your opinion? Do you not like Jaws?
2/3. It's a 10 out of 10. That movie's a 10 out of 10.
It's like an 8.9 out of 10.
You're an 8.9 out of crazy. you're
Listen, I'm
8.
like a Michigan 8.5. Okay.
You're-
So,
I gotta agree with my dad now, so I'll say an 8.52. Go Michigan. Yay.
Dan is the only person I know in my life that I have to take breaks from. The other day he was just topping me, and then today I'm like, what are you talking about? You know this movie's terrible. You can't keep arguing for it. I hate you. I have to take a break.
no, Batman. Of course, it's a terrible movie. Of course, it is. Of course, it is.
So bad. You can love Alicia Silverstone. I don't care.
And she is the '90s. Alicia Silverstone.
I mean, listen. Is she
Clueless.
the
Done.
90s?
Clueless. I mean, like,
How
Clueless,
though?
yeah.
How is Clueless the pinnacle '90s movie?
it is up there for sure.
Disagree.
Like,
Hard disagree. I think Clueless is a recognizable movie from the '90s. I don't think it's as loved as it was.
should be.
I'm merely speculating here, and I don't care. I think Empire Records is the quintessential.
Did I
Love
freeze?
that movie
I guess
too.
I did.
You did, but we can hear you.
Blow.
At least you froze on a beautiful face.
Yeah.
Chris
This
looks
guy
like
was
he's
like
about to do like B-roll for
Yeah.
like one of those gag shows where it's like the world's dumbest criminals, and he just like kind of makes jokes in between with inserts. That's
gonna
what
be
he
on
looks
the
like.
I
He's lined
think
up.
it would be awesome to do like 10 movies that tie into this same type of thing where it's like you tie into like a relationship.
That's the thing. Like movies for me, I can come up with like a whole list, like a top 10 list of love, and like
You
like
guys are
that,
gonna be worried about me.
like the woman that I was talking about with those like 4 or 5 songs, like Lost Boys, reminds me of her because I was the first person to show her Lost Boys, and like that.
You want to get
that's
her all
always-
horny with the sax players? Is that what it was?
No, it had nothing to do with that. Like that's the thing. I'm a geek. I wasn't trying to have sex with these women. I wanted to like be in relationships with them. I wanted to be like I'm not saying not eventually.
You know what movie never failed to create a makeout section for whatever reason?
What?
Finding Nemo.
What?
Yeah. The two
Finding
movies
Nemo?
that never failed. You know, when you're like, hey, let's watch a movie, like the 2 movies that never failed. Finding Nemo and then the Monsters Incorporated movie. They never failed.
I've
That's
heard about the
two.
monsters.
Body Heat wasn't one of them.
No, I'm telling you, they never failed. Like if you're in the dorms and you're like, hey, let's watch a movie, come on, and suddenly like halfway through it, my whole breakdown of it, I think it kind of engaged in that kind of like the biological clock, so to speak.
Dan, I went to Full Sail University. How many women do you think were running around there?
Oh God, I don't know. I didn't, but
I went
those
to
2
film
movies
school, man.
never failed, man. Like you'd invite a girl over, watch a movie. Those 2 movies you put on halfway through, you're making out.
I'm putting on Finding Nemo tonight. And if my woman is not,
We're married, Mick. That's different. That we're married. That's
you
different.
want to have any chance of making out with your wife? You put on what she wants to watch.
No,
not always.
'cause then you got to catch them before the sweatpants and dead people, man. Yeah, there's that.
That's fair.
The ID channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah.
The movie.
What,
that I
hey,
thought was
can we talk about that really quick?
Go for it.
I know my camera's messing. I don't got time to fix it right now, guys. But what is it with which we could probably all say? Like, you could probably, hey, does everybody's significant other watch the ID channel?
Yeah, because they're gonna kill us. That's
No,
I used to.
Not anymore.
No.
really?
Oh God,
She used to watch that Snapped one when we
I don't think
dated.
so. Oh,
So
she watches
mine-
those shows, but we don't have the ID channel.
Well,
Watch
you
that
okay?
stuff
Well,
on
watches the shows though. Watches the show. So my wife
Yeah.
will watch those shows, right? And there'll be times I'll text my stepdaughter, I'll be like, "Listen, your mom's watching the ID channel again, so you know you're gonna get a phone call about some nonsense." She's like, "Thanks for the heads up."
The movie that I've grown to really respect the older I've gotten, and I didn't get it when it first came out.
2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Extract.
I was close. Extracting.
Yeah, I got that more when I got married. Kinda
Yeah,
understood it.
Mike Judge's Extract is a brilliant film.
Almost everything Mike Judge has touched. Like, I don't think he catches enough. Like, because I think people like automatically like Beavis and Butthead, this and like, but people don't realize Beavis and Butthead were some smart movies.
Oh, great! It's
And the
super
show has-
satire and it's brilliant. Yeah, like
Yeah, like I definitely agree. And Mike Judge in general, like if you guys get a chance to watch him, he's fantastic.
Oh, Beavis and Butthead.
And King of
That's
the
how you
Hill and stuff.
That's how you can get music videos back MTV.
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead.
Well, they brought him back. They're on Paramount.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about MTV. You can't call yourself a music television if you don't play music.
True. What I like what Mike Judge did with them when they came back, though, you know how that element of them sitting in front of the TV making fun of things and it was music videos. Now they do it like TikToks and things like that. So they kind of broadened it a bit, and I dug what they were going for there.
they also aged them to adults, and it's
Yeah. They did it such a like he that was the thing about the movie he made. Was it a good movie? No. But it was a smart movie because if they asked him to make one and he knew he had to bring them up to date and make them adults. How do you do that? And so he made an entire movie of them traveling through it's so bonkers, but it was I appreciated it. He took their money and ran with it.
100%.
So, but yeah. Well, gentlemen.
I've actually never seen it.
Oh, come on, Chris.
Oh my God, come on. You gotta watch
Did
it.
you see the first one at least?
Do
First
America
one
is
what?
great.
Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Oh, it's so funny.
I don't think so.
I
I know that's probably where
the
the I am Concolio thing came from, but I that's all I know.
Yeah. That
Oh, they took it to the next
Because
level.
it sounds a little Spanish, Chris. You're just like, yeah, Cornolio. That's just where you came in at.
Cornholio. He can't help himself.
I am Cornholio. And it's getting to that time, ladies and gentlemen, where I just want to remind you, we had an earlier podcast this week of just movie reviews. You can go check that out. I reviewed Straw, Deep Cover, and Materialists. So that's out now on all podcast platforms and over on our YouTube channel. And of course, you can check out on July 4th, our Jaws 4th of July Marathon Watch Party. Sir Sturdy and I and our friends will be joining in to hang out, have a good time. And we're going to be pitching charity for a fellow podcaster who has fallen very ill. And he and his family need some help. So we're here for him. We're going to do it as part of our Casters for a Cause. But hopefully you guys can join in on that. And just so you guys know, we're going to have next couple of weeks going to be kind of fun. We got some fun stuff coming up. Hopefully you can be a part of it. Next week we're going to be playing the movie quote game. And anytime somebody gets something wrong, they will have provided 2 truths and a lie, and I will read one off as we go. What's going to be real? What's not going to be real? We'll figure that out as we go. So until next time, guys, I do want to remind you. Oh, wait, no, that's right. I have a new segment. That's right. Film definitions with Mick. All right. So here's the deal. When I was in college, I didn't have this exact book, but I had this book, and it was a wealth of knowledge. It teaches you everything on set, in the movie industry world, everything, history of film. So I thought what it might be fun is at the end of every episode, I will open up to a random spot. So page 135, formal balance, and I will give you the definition. A picture, or in the case of film, visual image, where there is an ordered and harmonious arrangement, an equilibrium of pictorial elements. Note, for example, the visual compositions in the films by Japanese director Akira Kurosawa. Films with closed form tend to present such self-contained and balanced arrangements, while those with open form tend to present visuals with the randomness of the world outside of the theater. So, guys, formal balance. That is your definition for today. And next week, we'll give you an all new one. But next week, I want you guys to join in. Again, we're going to be playing a game. And then the week after that, we're going to be celebrating the 80s, everybody. And then jumping right on into our July 4th marathon. So make sure you're there for both of them. I want to thank everybody here who was a part of this. And Dan coming back. We love you. Sir Sturdy being here. Chris, worst damn gamer ever. Make sure you are following him over at Sturdovision, Betting Bros, worst damn gamer ever. Paul and I are always here, so I want to thank you, Paul, for being here, being part of it, and all of you. Paul, you got anything you want to say before we take off, my friend?
Hey, you guys, it's super hot. We're having a heat wave come through. Please stay hydrated. Make sure to hydrate the night before. I know it sucks when you got to pee in the middle of the night, but you don't want to fall out. Heat stroke is real. Keep watching, keep listening, keep loving the magic of movies. Let us know movies you want us to watch and review. We're still waiting for those. I'm anxious. I want you guys to do what I did for Mick with making him watch The Stupid. So choose a really bad movie that I'm forced to watch and review, please. It's only fair. So let him out.
Do that part. I watch enough movies.
Right. Yeah.
I've had to watch so many movies this week. And I'm so happy. Well, actually, 8 Million Ways to Die. There's a movie recommendation for you. I just watched it. It is a bad movie. It is a bonkers movie. It was given to me as a punishment, and I loved every frame
I am
of it.
so pissed off about this.
Every Ghost Sturdy is pissed off about it.
Yeah,
I loved every single second of it.
And hang on. Can I say this? I'm double mad now because not only that, but he's the one who put the damn musical on. We had to watch for Popcorn and Pints. So I feel like I had a double punishment.
I did not.
No, not you. The Puerto Rican, the one that gave.
Oh yeah,
you...
Chris gave that. For context, Chris gave me the punishment movie of 8 Million Ways to Die, which is funny because I told him if it was from the 80s, I'd probably hate it unless it was a thriller. So he gave me an 80s thriller, and I loved every second of it. It has Jeff Bridges, Rosanna Arquette, Andy Garcia with a small little ponytail, the whole 9 yards. Everyone's in this, and I loved it. Go watch it. Trust me.
Yeah, and I selected it because it had a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
God,
it's worth the 0. That's how bad it is. But I loved it. It's the 80s thrillers. They get me. They just understand where I'm coming from. And I thank you for that. I appreciate it. But we also watched Tree of Life, watched Smokey and the Bandit, and we watched Damn Yankees, all of which have been a kind of a roller coaster. But I hope you guys will be there for it at Popcorn and Pints, 9 p.m. live on Saturday. Be a part of it. Like I said, go check out all my friends' shows here and have a good time with them. Thank you, Paul, for being a part of it. Thank you all for supporting. Head over to our Patreon. If you join up on the paid tiers, it all goes back into being able to run this and produce the best stuff we can. We have content every day on the channel. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. We love movies, and we know you do too, so join the Snob Nation. Until next time, I'm Mick Manhattan from the Scene Snobs. Make sure to stay snobby, stay cinematic, and take care of yourselves because that's important, and I'll talk to you soon.